Hello, hello. All right, is everybody ready to close out the day with incredible content? Yes? Having fun so far? Great. Stage 2, always bringing it. All right. So we're going to close out with a really, really great session, The Power of We, building online community and doing it in real life. And we've got a great group of speakers here. You're not here to see me, so I'm going to bring them out right now. Please welcome Leah Haberman, Ali Miller, Toril Patel, and Ava Donaldson.
So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Nah, can I kick it? Thank you. Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me.
All right, hello. Thank you for sticking with us and happy you're still here. Lots of energy for the last panel of the day. So we're the Power of We, building community online and IRL. And I'm going to introduce my panelists before we get into our conversation. So we have got Ava Donaldson, Senior Marketing Manager, Global Talent and Creators at Google. We've got Ali Miller, Global Director, Influencer Marketing, Roblox. Oh, wow, nice support, all right. And then we've got Toril Patel, Vice President of Marketing and E-commerce at Kopari Beauty. I love it. My name is Leah Haberman. I write a newsletter called In Case You Missed It, or ICYMI, that's about creators and communities and social. And we're very excited to have these esteemed panelists here. They're gonna share their secrets for building creator-led communities to meet consumers anywhere they are. So, first question, and you know, it's interesting because we've got big tech, we've got gaming, we've got beauty. So there's something here for everybody in the crowd. So tell me, what does community mean for each of your organizations? Because I'm curious if there are kind of overlaps and opportunities across all of these categories, or if it's really distinct. So maybe I'll just start with you.
Cool. Hi, everyone. It's the last panel of the day. How are we doing?
Nice.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we needed that. Thank you so much for having me. Community and what that means for us. So I think big tech is not a brand we like to say, but no, it's all good. We're friendly. We're Google. We're a friendly brand. I think for us, I work specifically on our hardware products, so I really think about how do you build human connection around cell phones, specifically Google Pixel. And for us, we've created this network called Team Pixel, which is really an accessible community for everyone that is a Pixel owner, and that's everyone from Jimmy Butler and Kiki Palmer, who are Pixel users, all the way down to anyone who's purchased a Pixel. So for us, it's about creating this really inclusive and exciting network that is all you need is really to just have a Pixel to be involved.
All right, and sorry, I started that off badly and calling it, no, it's not big tech, it's Google. And we love Google.
We love Google.
All right, Ali, what about you?
On the Roblox side, I think it's a little bit unique for the gaming space just because Roblox, if you don't know, is made up of influencers, obviously, but also the developers who create the games and experiences on Roblox. So we kind of think of this as sort of a content flywheel where the developers make the fun things on Roblox, the influencers kind of really latch onto it, make content, live stream, shorts, whatever, and then obviously the brands who come into the ecosystem as well to kind of just use it as an extension of their marketing campaign. So it's really kind of overall just like a community that feeds up in itself with content that's fun, engaging, influencers will amplify that stuff, and then brands will come in and try to activate on the platform as well.
That's interesting. That's a lot of people in the mix.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
almost everyone.
Yeah, nice and simple. I think for beauty, it's a little bit more straightforward. Obviously, we have influencers, we have affiliates, UGC creators, but then of course we have our customers. And I think what's important is, regardless of the segment that we're speaking to, there is a common thread and shared value around clean beauty, sustainability, and products that really work to make you feel good. So as we try to make sure that it is cohesive, and no matter who we're messaging to.
Now, we were talking a couple of days ago, and you guys were sharing some very specific kind of strategies or campaigns that you've each worked on, which I thought was really fascinating in thinking about, how do you leverage this and make sure that you're reaching people where they are, working with community, with creators. So in terms of bridging digital and physical spaces and working with creators and communities, kind of what are those examples? Because I loved, you all had really great, either specific campaigns or case studies that you had. We'll start with you, Toril, just since we'll come back down.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we've been doing a lot of different activations this year. Being in person has been a big emphasis and focus for us. And what we were able to do specifically for a campaign this summer is create an influencer-style experience for our customers. And we were able to bring in loyalists to experience the same type of event and activation that we would put on for influencers. And of course, there were 20 to 30 people there, but I think the fact that we were able to offer this to our customer community really resonated with folks that weren't even able to come, but they really appreciated the fact that we were involving our customers and giving that same style of experience. And with the creators, we actually did invite some creators to that same experience, and that just enhanced the overall experience for everyone there. And so that's really something that we're going to continue to push on as we look ahead to 2025.
I love that mix, and I think that's a really big thing here. Is anybody else thinking about that, like loyalists and creators? Kind of I see, yeah, somebody's nodding their head. Okay. Ava, what about you?
Yeah, I think similar to that, my team looks after all of our influencer creator talent partnerships across the board. But one program we're particularly excited about is really leaning into our customers as influencers. And so we have a program called Super Fans, which is for folks that have purchased a Pixel and more than one Pixel. It's a network that's really driven by email and CRM. But actually, what's really interesting is how the online and digital experiences actually drives in real life and real relationships. So we're able to bring folks in real life for moments like Made by Google, which is our launch event, to actually host them and build those one-to-one relationships. So it starts online, and then you bring that to IRL, and it's so meaningful.
And you guys also had, you had your super fans, and I think at the Google I/O, you also had creators there.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Similar to what Toril was saying, we really create experiences for everybody, for all of our creators, as we are trying to be super inclusive.
I love that. I think it's a very smart way to go. Allie, what about you?
So I think I'm going to switch my answer from what we talked about, because I think I have a better one. So, for influencers at Roblox, my whole thing is just building those sort of authentic relationships as any influencer program should do. But we have an event at Roblox called the Roblox Developers Conference, and only until the last couple of years did we invite influencers to that, because that's obviously a very developer-focused company. But inviting influencers in person, just kind of be there and kind of demonstrate their impact that they have on the platform was super crucial, not necessarily for us, but also just to facilitate these sort of networking opportunities, because our whole thing is scale, right? We're a platform of millions of games and experiences. I can't create bespoke influencer strategies for every single game that kind of comes our way. So at RDC, we're able to just kind of facilitate these awesome networking opportunities for people who may not they exist online and Discord and whatnot, and just kind of have that face-to-face relationship. It sounds very basic, but it was actually kind of the more profound insight for us coming out of even this last RDC, where not only did we kind of just talk to our influencers, invite them to parties, do whatever, but we presented them with kind of a product-focused roadmap that explained what we were doing for that specific cohort. So what we were doing about specifically for video content creators who are online and maybe they want to remain anonymous, maybe they want to do things that kind of make it easier to create video content on the platform. We were finally able to kind of lay out that roadmap for what we're doing to kind of serve that audience.
I love that. It's like bringing them in the boardroom almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Did you want to tell your original example as well? Or
Is that the Zed one?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
It was cute. It was cute. It was a cute story.
Yeah, so not at Roblox. At my last job, I worked at Riot Games. I was hired at Riot to launch Valorant, which was amazing. And we kind of saw all these sort of non-endemic gaming creators come out to profess their love for competitive tactical shooters. And one of those people was Zed, if you don't know, is like a major DJ, major music artist, Grammy Award winning and everything. And he's like a very authentically skilled competitive shooter player. And he's like, we just kind of reached out on Twitter. He's like, can we work together? And after, I would say probably 6 to 8 months, we worked with him to kind of create this specific weapon skin that was designed by him. He applied all of the musical knowledge, or all the musical just like effects to the skin. And yeah, we released it, and it was like one of the top 5 selling skins. And it was just like this super authentic way that we could reach sort of non-gaming influencers and work with them in a meaningful way.
That's a great story. When you're thinking about success, how do you think about measuring the growth and impact of your creator-driven communities? Ava, maybe we'll start with you.
Yeah, for sure. We are obsessed with engagement, and I think the thing we've been thinking about this year is that all engagements are not created equally, meaning a comment is more important than a like or more valuable than a like. A share is more valuable than a comment, and a save is more valuable than a share. And just thinking about how do you actually drive people to save content, and that being the ultimate KPI when it comes to engagement.
I would love to see the spreadsheet where that's all mapped out. That must be intense. Toril, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we have a lot of the KPIs. We hold ourselves to a lot of the KPIs that were discussed, in Doug's talk earlier, and a lot of the talks, there's organic traffic, and we're measuring conversion rates and lift and all of that. But then I think what is important is we sort of triangulate that with the qualitative. So when we are at activations and in real life with customers, we ask all the time, how did you hear about Kopari? How did you hear about this product? And we, of course, have a post-purchase survey where we ask that question too. And by and large, what we hear is that they heard about it through word of mouth, whether that's through a friend or on social. And that's a really important metric for us, even though we can't necessarily assign a number to it. That's something that we are always thinking about, talking and bringing back to the team, because of course we know certain influencers' content resonates more than others, so.
Allie?
So yeah, I mean, same as Toril and Ava, everybody kind of has standard KPIs that you have to kind of adhere to. So for us, I think the difference with Roblox is that a lot of our world in the influencer space has largely existed in VOD form, so YouTube, TikTok, just short form. With new games coming out like Dress to Impress, if anybody knows what Dress to Impress is, it's kind of just like a fashion game where you can rate each other's runway looks.
If you don't know, seriously, Google it or go on TikTok and look up Dress to Impress, because it is very, very popular.
And it's popular, but more importantly for me, is that it unlocked the ability to not only meet with sort of non-endemic gaming creators, but more actually not non-endemic Roblox creators, but the wider gaming world. So we're looking at, again, Valorant people playing Dress to Impress. It's a huge win for me, obviously. But we also unlocked this whole new platform of this whole new format of live streamers, right? Who are just using Dress to Impress to interact in a funny, just competitive way that they normally wouldn't on Roblox. So I think to answer the question, I think for 2025 especially, as we kind of look to work more with YouTube gaming on the live side, and then Twitch and other live streaming platforms, really kind of leaning into how many non-endemic Roblox influencers we can actually build relationships with.
And now you had told me, obviously you use CreatorIQ, but in terms of your tech stack and what you're using, and you had kind of an interesting story to share.
I mean, okay, so nowhere in the history of my gaming career would I have ever kind of worked with a data scientist before. But when I got to Roblox, I think, as a more tech-focused company, they're we need to really understand the incremental impact of influencers. So by incremental, I mean, are they driving signups? What is the actual insight that they have when driving traffic to Roblox? So, I got paired up with a data science person. He turns out to be super passionate about this work, and he was very invested and just really applied a lot of analytical rigor to the storytelling around what the actual incremental impact of influencers are on Roblox. And our hypothesis, I think, in this room would be yep, they're important, but as it turns out, yes, they're actually a lot more meaningfully important than I could actually hypothesize.
That's awesome. We all love a data scientist. If you're lucky enough to have one, it's a great thing to have. In terms of best practices for creating loyal customer advocates, how do you ensure that these advocates contribute to your brand's long-term growth and success? How are you thinking of that kind of down the road? Toral, what about you?
Yeah, I think when we are thinking about creating programming and content to create advocacy, I think it's important that we think about what makes us as a team, as a brand, so excited. And I have members of my team here. When we are launching a product, there is genuine excitement and passion about the ingredients, about the format, and I think for us, what we probably need to do even a better job of as we think ahead is really peeling back the curtain a little bit and bringing these influencers into, the behind the scenes and invite them in to understand what the inspiration was behind the product, what goes into it, really taking them on the journey, because oftentimes when you're doing a seeding, you're sending a postcard with the product and you're hoping that they read it, and a lot of that is lost. And so I think for us, as we think ahead, we're going to be thinking about how we can really bring these micro-influencers and influencers to understand and learn about the products in the same way that we do. And I think in doing so, that will create more advocacy, because we have seen that to be true thus far. We just need to scale it now.
So is that like messaging or education, or how do you think about that?
So webinars, lives, in person, smaller meetups. Probably not everything needs to be a huge production for us to be able to get together and share those messaging points. So that's what we're thinking about.
And this is interesting because I think, seeding and gifting is possible when you've got a physical product. But Ava, what about you?
Yeah, it's interesting. We have to acknowledge when we're talking about Pixel that our cell phones are our most emotionally connected products. Everyone is emotionally attached to their phone. And I think switching when a lot of people are coming from a different operating system can be really scary. And so what we try to do is create, similar to Toral in terms of product education, but really creating a high touch experience where we have a concierge team that will actually help our creators do the switch and show them that it's actually not that scary, but also be able to walk through our key products, our new AI feature, Gemini, et cetera, to just help them understand kind of how it goes and just see in front of their eyes how easy it can be.
We all need that. I feel like with AI, we all need that service. Like, call me tomorrow, walk me through it.
100%.
Yeah. What about you?
I think for the long term, especially on Roblox, kind of keeping influencers engaged for kind of the duration of their content career really has to revolve around what we could do to kind of stay mutually beneficial. Like, can we do to make them understand that Roblox is an amazing place to establish your career as a content creator. Rising tide lifts all boats in my world, right? Like, if the developer keeps creating awesome games, which they do, content updates, whatnot, the influencers will play, they'll create content, and we'll just keep kind of crushing it on views and engagement and stuff like that. But I think an extension of that is sort of what can we do on the monetization side. So right now, standard gaming practice, we have something called a star code for our Video Star program. That's our official partner program. It's like when buying Robux, which is the Roblox currency, and you input, code Flamingo, Flamingo gets a percentage of that Robux purchase. It's great. It's been done in the industry kind of pretty standard for the last 6 years or so. But I need to think about what are more innovative monetization options that we can provide our influencers that really want them to continue investing into our ecosystem. We recently announced a creator affiliate program where we really kind of want to drive more sort of like incentivization for people to create content and drive signups and stuff like that. So that's we just have to think long term about what will keep them sustained from, this is their livelihood. So what can we do to help them continue this?
Right, and let's stay with that theme, because thinking about innovation and future, and for the last question is really thinking about, trends, any predictions in terms of, creator-led community and marketing. Allie, since you're talking about innovation, like what are you thinking? What are you looking forward to in 2025 or predicting in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, I think at least for Roblox, I can only really speak for Roblox on the topic, but we're really looking to expand internationally. I'm sure like everybody has sort of different international goals and target regions that they work towards, but for me, it's kind of really understanding how to scale those strategies to kind of meet the nuances of each country's kind of maturity model, right? What do they need? What what kind of influencer activations can we do that really kind of meet where the Korean audience is, right? I think, especially in terms of something like Roblox, I think you're just going to see a lot of these developers really kind of grow as they understand the benefit that they have when it comes to engaging with influencers, and hopefully it means a lot more scaled influencer strategies, which is my hope, because I want to see these people succeed, right? And I think as also more brands come into Roblox, they'll understand like, hey, it's not enough to just kind of spend towards activating on Roblox. You have to have the foot traffic of working with influencers to kind of, highlight what's strong about it.
Toril, is there anything that's exciting you or?
Yeah, I think it goes back to your question earlier about bringing influencers into the brand more deeply, and whether that's co-creating product or co-creating events, but really thinking of them as an extension of our brand and our brand team seems to be a trend that I'm very excited about.
They're like business partners, essentially.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, well, we will end with you, Ava. Take it away. You've got the last answer. Yeah, bring it home.
We want to be the best phone for creators, and we really want to be able to enable their creativity and help them be efficient, get things done, be the most creative possible with our AI tools with Gemini, and so we're very obsessed with that.
Awesome. Well, that was it. We're actually giving you back. Oh, we've got a couple of extra minutes, but we will give those back to you so that you can go and enjoy the happy hour. Thank you so much to our panelists. Really appreciate it. And thank you for maintaining